the hell does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. And I was like, oh, my mind was blown. This guy has no idea what he's doing. This is my opportunity. My name is Colin Fukunaga, and I've been in Las Vegas for 28 years. I was born in LA. My grandfather owned a sandwich shop in downtown LA. Like a lot of Asian kids, we grew up in our family businesses, and my sister and I used to run around in the back. Those were really fun times. It was a really bustling business. My mom worked there, my grandma, my grandfather, our family friends. It was like a gauntlet. It was crazy because my family's very animated. So you hear my mom screaming at my grandfather, like, "Oh, it's right here." They're all cussing each other, and the customers are in the middle. And it's like a reality show in the 80s before there was reality shows. And of course, I wanted to be a part of it. So right at high noon, I'd wait and then come out in the middle and ask my grandfather, "Hey, Grandpa, can you make me a burger?" So one day he just like, here, take the spatula and cook it yourself. And I was 7 years old, and I grabbed the spatula and I, was wincing, and I flipped my first burger at 7 years old, and that was a wrap. I thought I knew how to cook after that, but that was the beginning of my love and fascination with not just the restaurant business, but specifically in burgers. I never planned to stay with the restaurant business, but it just gave me an opportunity to move around and be mobile. So I moved to Las Vegas in '95. I still had ambitions to get out of the business, but I had a manager asked me to possibly manage, and I'm like, manage? I don't want to manage. Like that's blue collar. I'm a white collar guy. I went to college. And he said, well, I think you'd be good at it. You should check it out. I'll give it a try. I found it a guilty pleasure for all of the dopamine hits I was getting from the customers. Like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Every day I went home and I felt like, oh God, I love this. And it was a 12-year stint. Around 2008, everybody was downsizing. I was let go after 12 years, and I had to figure out what was I gonna do? I had been cooking for friends and family and employees at my house. My mom always had a cupboard full of Asian ingredients. I didn't know they were Asian ingredients. I just thought they were just ingredients, and naturally they infuse with your pizza and your pasta and chicken, meat, burgers. That's the only way that I knew how to cook, with these Asian flavors. Everybody was saying, yeah, this is different. This is like an Asian burger. Like you should do this as your own restaurant. I always kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, I think everybody in the restaurant business has like a daydream of, maybe creating their own concept. So I put pen to paper, started putting together what became my business plan. I originally wanted to do Fukuburger as a restaurant because that's all I knew. I was an operator. I know how to run restaurants, I know how to build teams, but I didn't know how to open a restaurant. I got a phone call from my mom. She sent me a video of this food truck in LA, and she said, Colin, you gotta see what this Korean guy did. This Korean chef made a restaurant out of a taco truck. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, oh, my mind was blown. I'm like, this guy has no idea what he's doing. This is my opportunity because I'm sold on this food truck concept. Everybody was like, that's a bad idea. This is the worst time to open a business during this recession. This is not a food truck friendly town. And I'm like, for all the reasons why people were saying no, I'm like, that's why we got to do it here at this time right now. I bought a food truck, and I've never been on a food truck. I'm the first one to say that a full-scale kitchen with hot grease and wires and oil and refrigeration should never be allowed on the back of a flatbed truck. It's just crazy. It's chaos. It's pure chaos every day. You don't know what's gonna break. So I had to pick a launch date. My favorite day of the year is 4th of July. Happened to be coming up. So we launched on the 4th of July, 2010. It was the most nerve-wracking day of my life. This is Colin Fukunaga with Fukuburger. Give me a little tour of the truck. Just want to point out the A rating. All right, so let's take a look inside. Here we are, like 30, 40 people gathering around the food truck before we open, but this time, they're not your friends. Yeah, it was a crazy first day. Things went wrong, and then we learned from them. And year one in Vegas was crazy with the food truck. Nobody was doing the gourmet food truck thing. Because of that, and because of the timing, we got all the publicity.
Dripping.
We got in the front of the Las Vegas Weekly. we got the cover of it, which was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, we went from like obscure to like the most popular kids on the block. We were on a Food Network, a travel channel. We were on a LA Times, New York Times. This is all in the first 6 months. And so we got all this free publicity, didn't have to do any traditional advertising. I got a call from the former owners of a casino. I actually sold the intellectual property of Fukuburger to this guy. He had promises to expand the business. Wow, how could I say no? He's a billionaire. You know, it's like saying no to a lottery ticket. So I opened up in LA.
Hollywood, California is not only the world's entertainment capital, it's also a foodie's dream. And located right in the heart of Tinseltown is Fukuburger.
A lot of people had warned me, it's like, you know, be careful. This is not a corporate company. This is your name on there. You know, the concept was changing, the menu was changing, and these are things that were specified not to be messed with, and they were. And there was really nothing I could do because I sold my IP, and, you know, even though I could sue, I'm like, I can't. How do you sue a billionaire? There's no, you know, they can bury you. Sure enough, like, business started to stall, and then, you know, my partner got bored with the business. He just stopped paying me, you know? I'm like, oh, yeah. So go back to Vegas, put together a termination letter, emailed it, and there it was, his signature. I'm like, oh my God, I have my company back. This is incredible. I put myself on the free market again. I got picked up with another company on the Strip. Well, I get to be on a strip now, the Las Vegas Strip. I'm like, this is incredible. Unfortunately, the theme of the food court didn't work. So that was my third business that failed. Just coincidentally, I had another business opportunity. They said, we have a standalone business in Chinatown where you started your food truck. Would you consider coming to Chinatown? And I'm like, yeah, this is my dream. Like, that's where I would have wanted my first one. I probably would have had 10 by now.
What is a Fukuburger? What makes it so special?
I feel like my failures were always, you know, my secrets to the success, because if I had just gotten to that Chinatown one first, I would not know as much as I do about my own business. My advice is like, don't do this unless you're kind of crazy, because I think I'm kind of crazy. So at this point, I have to admit, like, I owe a lot to Las Vegas and the community for helping support us from coming from a food truck to where we are now. I'm pretty committed to just stay here in Vegas, and we'll expand probably a couple more locations, but this will always be a Vegas secret.